opportunities. Opportunities in big data world. And next, packages. What are the package structures available for big data developers? Everyone knows what is big data, right? So first, importantly, big data means it's a huge volumes of data. It is a huge volumes of data. It's a huge volumes of data which cannot be stored using traditional technologies. Before big data, frameworks like Hadoop, there is no technology which can support unlimited storage stream. There is no existed technologies in the market which supports unlimited storage. So we have existed technologies like RDBMS file systems, right? So file system has a lot of problems. Storing, retrieving, everything, we have to write manual programs. So to avoid that problem, industry invented RDBMS. RDBMS stores the data in a structured format. It provides storing, retrieving purpose. They given query language. Okay. The problem with RDBMS is RDBMS does not support unlimited storage because their cluster has a limitation. Nowadays, data growing not like anything. Yes or no? We are using social media, we are using smartphones, we are using different smart devices. All these devices and medias generating huge volumes of data. To store that huge volumes of data, there is no other framework team. We have only one Hadoop. Hadoop has both storage, Hadoop has both storage and processing. Yes, sir. Storage, we use HDFS file system team. HDFS file system. It's a Hadoop distributed file system. Storage purpose, we use HDFS file system. Initially, processing, we use MapReduce. MapReduce is a distributed processing framework, processing algorithm. So we can implement this algorithm using Java. You can implement this algorithm using Python. It supports plenty of languages too. Let's discuss diagrammatically. First one, storage purpose, we use HDFS file system team. So cluster, you can take any number of missions. There is no limit. In Hadoop cluster, cluster means group of missions team. Group of missions or collection of missions connected through the network. So we can take multiple missions in a Hadoop cluster. There is no limit. RDBMS has a limitation. RDBMS has a limitation, but Hadoop, there is no limitation. You can take n number of missions in Hadoop cluster. Okay. So this is Hadoop cluster. Hadoop cluster. These are complete HDFS file system type. HDFS file system. To store the data in Hadoop, we use HDFS file system. Okay, first concept. In Hadoop framework, Hadoop. Yep, first one, we are using what? HDFS file system. It is a distributed Hadoop distributed file system, it supports unlimited storage. It supports unlimited storage. On top of this one, first one, we used MapReduce team. So we can implement a MapReduce application using Java or Python. So MapReduce is an algorithm. We can implement this MapReduce algorithm using Java or using Python. It supports plenty of languages. So by using any programming language, we can implement MapReduce to process data presented in HDFS file system. Okay, so MapReduce is a distributed processing algorithm team. Distributed processing algorithm or parallel processing algorithm. So in Hadoop, let's say when you store any data, let's say this is our file system, file 1, this file 1 contain 300 MB. So when you store this file, your file is splitted into multiple blocks. Let's say block is splitted into, let's say in HDFS file system, if you store 300 MB file data, your file data splitted into multiple blocks. So in Hadoop, block size is 128 MB. So this 300 MB file splitted into multiple blocks. So total we get 3 blocks. So each block stores in different mission team. Let's say assume one block stored in first mission, one block stored in fifth mission, one block stored in ninth mission. When you submit this MapReduce application, one important note, Tim, in MapReduce, we are not going to use any multi-threading concept. Once we submit a MapReduce application to Hadoop cluster, it will create a MapReduce instance in blocks location team. Wherever block is presented, there it will create MapReduce instance. So your MapReduce instance create in different location where your data is presented, it process data parallelly. So MapReduce is a fastest algorithm. Team. Before MapReduce, we used different technologies, but MapReduce is a proven technology. It is a parallel processing framework. It process data very faster. So problem with MapReduce is we have to use any one programming language. It may be Java, it may be Python, it may be Hadoop supported language. So to avoid this one, industry introduced Hadoop frameworks team. Hadoop frameworks. So we have different Hadoop frameworks. First Hadoop framework is Pig. So similar way, how we are writing programs using MapReduce, right? Similar way, we can write Pig scripts. Pig scripts team. Apache Pig. So here we write scripts. Simple scripts. So Hadoop people invented Pig. It is a scripting framework. It has its own language. Called Pig Latin. Pig Latin. It is similar to SQL. It is similar to SQL. So how we write SQL statements, right? Similar way we can write a simple Pig queries using Pig Latin. So team, here we write the scripts, but these scripts are converted to MapReduce programs. Once we submit these programs, or once we submit Pig scripts to Hadoop cluster, these are converted to MapReduce. These are converted to MapReduce. MapReduce applications. So whatever the simple scripts we written in a Pig, right? These programs are converted to MapReduce application stream. So finally, whether you write MapReduce or any framework internally, all are converted into MapReduce format. So processing, we use MapReduce framework. But development is very faster. Instead of writing 50-60 lines of code, you can develop 4 to 5 lines of Pig script for processing your big data. Development is faster. Anyone can easily learn. Main purpose of Pig is any development is faster team. Second approach, it reduces lot of duplicate code. Third one, anyone can easily learn because the syntax of Pig is similar to SQL. Let's see Hadoop and Hadoop frameworks. So yep. So next one. Yep. Can you someone unmuted? Can you mute your mic team? Yeah. So next framework, Hive framework team. Hive framework. Hive is a warehouse environment. On top of HDFS file system team. Here, everything is file system. In Hadoop, everything is file. So on top of HDFS file system, we use Hive framework team to expose HDFS file system data in a tabular format. So it's a warehouse environment to expose HDFS file system data in a tabular form. We use Hive team. Next one, it has its own language called HQL. HQL stands for Hive Query Language team. HQL stands for Hive Query Language. It is also similar to SQL. I will give simple example. Select star from EMP. Who knows SQL? They will say this is SQL language, SQL query. But who knows Hive? They say this is SQL query. You cannot feel any difficulty for writing Hive query stream. And learning is easy, implementation is easy. Almost Hive queries are similar to SQL and it has a lot of additional advantages. While learning Hadoop development, we will discuss in-depth Hive. Okay. I will explain what are frameworks are using by industry, what are not using by industry. First, let's understand what is Hadoop and what is there, what are different Hadoop frameworks, and what are different big data processing frameworks available in the market. Okay. So to expose HDFS file system data in a tabular form, we use Hive. Here we write SQL queries. All SQL queries are converted to MapReduce applications. Whether you write MapReduce or not, here also these queries are converted to what? MapReduce applications. Once we submit Hive queries to Hadoop, right? The queries are internally converted into MapReduce programs. Next important one, other framework is Flume team. Flume is a streaming framework. Streaming framework, not streaming framework. What is streaming? Let's say team, we have a web server. Let's say we have web server, or we have database server. Or we have GPS system, or different cams fixed in different location. So these are, let's say this is web server or application server, app server, maybe Tomcat, maybe WebLogic, maybe any server. Next one, coming to this database, any database team, any DB, any RDBMS, or any database, or these are cams. All these are generating continuous logs. Let's say in web application, we deployed online shopping application. So when customer enters into site, it will write a log. Customer, XYZ customer entered into website, e-commerce application. Then once he entered, he browsed mobile products. It will write XYZ customer browse mobile products. Next, he entered into particular model. He added cart. He removed from cart. All these applications writes into logs. Similar way, for any database operation, let's say these are writing into log file. Cameras, when camera capturing any image, it will write into log file. Then what we will do, by using Flume framework, we can configure streaming framework. Streaming means a continuous flow of data type. We can configure streaming source. Here in this example, log file is a streaming source. In this log file, data is continuously generating. What Flume do? It will capture the data. And simply writes into Hadoop. It will write into HDFS file system team. Once the data is presented in HDFS file system, you can write a pig scripts, you can write MapReduce applications, or you can write SQL queries to process the data. Once data captured from streaming sources. Once the data is loaded into HDFS file system, you can write either pig scripts, you can write either MapReduce applications, or you can write Hive queries to process the data team. Next one. So Flume is a streaming framework. It performs what? It captures data from different streaming sources. Different streaming sources. Different streaming sources and writes into Hadoop. So it performs only capturing data from different sources and writing into Hadoop. It cannot do other than this activity. It cannot perform any analytics. You cannot write any processing application. We just create a configuration here. We just create a configuration with the source system and our destination HDFS file system. Whenever data is written into a source system, it will capture that source system and writes into Hadoop team. It will write into Hadoop team. Next one. Next, very, very important framework team, Scoop. Next important framework, Scoop. So Scoop imports data from RDBMS. Scoop imports data from RDBMS and writes into Hadoop. First purpose team imports data from RDBMS and writes into Hadoop. Next one, Scoop exports data from Hadoop to RDBMS. So it performs only two activities: importing data from RDBMS to Hadoop and exports data from Hadoop to RDBMS. Let's say we have already existed frameworks. Which is storing data into Hadoop. Let's say existed applications, maybe Java application, maybe .NET application, maybe Python application, maybe other language application. They are storing data into Hadoop system, RDBMS team. So instead of disturbing existed application flow, what we are doing, we are using Scoop framework. Okay, so we are reading data from RDBMS, any RDBMS team. We are reading data from RDBMS and we are writing into Hadoop team. Once data stores into Hadoop, then we write pig scripts or MapReduce applications or Hive queries to process the data. Result again we store into HDFS file system. That result we store back into RDBMS using Scoop. It means we use import and export operations through the Scoop. Other than that, we cannot write any other statements. Before Scoop framework, we used MapReduce JDBC programs. Before Scoop team, we used MapReduce JDBC programs. The problem with MapReduce JDBC programs is, first we have to know MapReduce algorithm. Next we have to know JDBC. Next we have to know any programming language. It may be Java, it may be Python. Then only we can implement MapReduce JDBC applications. And after that, we have to write a sequence of statements. It's a lengthy duplicate code. But if you use Scoop, Scoop provides import statement, import command, export command, simple commands. You can use simple commands to import and export data from RDBMS to Hadoop, Hadoop to RDBMS team. Okay. So next one, HBase. Very important framework is HBase. HBase is a NoSQL database. NoSQL database team. HBase is a NoSQL database. So before going to explain HBase, Hadoop file system is OLAP team. Write once, read any number of times. It supports OLAP algorithm. So first important to note, Hadoop supports OLAP. OLAP means online analytical process. Online analytical process. Write once, read any number of times. So OLTP algorithm purposes, write once, read any number of times. Most of reporting tools follows this approach. So on top of this architecture, Apache people invented HBase. HBase is a NoSQL database. It is a OLTP. It is a OLTP team. It is a OLTP framework. OLTP means online transaction processing. Online transaction processing. It means it supports CRUD operations. It supports CRUD operation team. Creating, reading, updating, deleting operations. So on top of this one, on top of HDFS file system, Apache people invented HBase team. So HBase supports OLTP operations. HBase supports OLTP operations. So you can use any programming language. So you can write any programming language, like 3-tier architecture you can implement. So first one, middle layer and user interface layer. So user interface, you can use any UI, maybe Angular, maybe React, any framework. You can use screens, developing any user interface frameworks. So these can send how we are implementing existed frameworks. Same way you can implement this one also too. So you can send a request to middle layer. So middle layer we can use Java or .NET or Python. Middle layer we can use Java or .NET or Python, etc. Any programming language. Then from this you can communicate with HBase. So you can insert the data, you can read the data, you can update the data, you can delete the data using HBase framework team. Okay, so this is complete HBase framework. It supports OLTP operations team. Okay, so after that, So these are different Hadoop frameworks, and along with this one, there is one more framework called Oozie. 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 Oozie is a workflow define. Oozie is a framework to define workflow. Oozie is a framework to define workflow and scheduling workflow. Oozie is a framework to define workflow and scheduling workflow. So you can define workflow, you can schedule workflow. Workflow means a sequence of job setting. Workflow means a sequence of jobs. Sequence of jobs. Let's say first I want to execute Flume job. Next I want to execute MapReduce job. Next I want to execute Hive job. So to define such kind of workflow, we use Oozie. We use Oozie, or we use instead of Oozie, we can use Linux shell scripting, and cron jobs. Linux shell scripting for defining workflow. Cron jobs are for scheduling workflow. So the problem with there is no problem with writing shell scripting and cron jobs, but Oozie is specially designed for Hadoop purpose team. Oozie is specially designed for Hadoop purpose. Here we have to write a lot of things. Oozie reduces all those things. You can handle exceptions. You can give exception messages to the development team or admin team. So if there is any failed job, we can clearly give information. So and so job is failed because of so and so reason. So lot of additional facilities available in Oozie. So recently there is one more framework. So we have other frameworks like Autosys. There are plenty of frameworks available in the market for defining workflows and scheduling workflows. Okay, these are different frameworks too. Along with this one, we have big data processing frameworks. Big data processing frameworks. We have big data processing frameworks like Apache Spark. It is a big data framework team. It is a big data framework. It is 100 times faster than MapReduce. 100 times faster than MapReduce. If you observe all these framework, I said Flume, Pig, Scoop, Hive, etc. HBase, all these programs statements internally converted to MapReduce. And I said MapReduce is a fastest processing framework. MapReduce is a fastest processing framework before this Spark. It's a proven framework team. Compared to all existed technologies in the market, MapReduce is the fastest processing framework. It processes data very faster. It processes data very faster. So just now I said another framework, Spark. Spark also we can use Spark for processing Hive data, Hive tables, processing HBase tables, and processing HDFS file system data. And you can directly integrate Spark with Flume. You can capture Flume data. You can process. You can directly process any RDBMS data. Spark is not only for HDFS file system, it can process any data types, any RDBMS. So Spark can process any data. Spark is not only for Hadoop. So first important point. So Spark is a big data framework. It's a big data framework. It is 100 times faster than MapReduce. It is 100 times faster than MapReduce. Next one, it can process any data. MapReduce can process only HDFS file system data. MapReduce can process only HDFS file system data, but coming to Spark, it can process any data type. It is not specific to HDFS file system. You can integrate Spark with the Hive. You can integrate Spark with HDFS file system. You can integrate Spark with RDBMS. You can integrate Spark with HBase, Spark with the Flume, Spark with AWS, anything. It can process any file system data. So that's why most of the people using Spark as a processing framework. Most of the people using Spark as a processing framework team. So Spark we can implement in different languages. We can implement Spark using Java language, using Scala language, using Python language, using R language. There are many other. These are 4 important languages to implement Spark programming. Spark is a distributed processing framework. It's a very fastest processing framework. Okay, so it's a big data processing framework. Big data means not only Hadoop data, any huge volumes of data we can call it as big data team. So it can process any file system data or any data. It is not specific to Hadoop. So it provides components. It has components, Spark Core, Spark SQL, Spark Streaming, Spark mlib, machine learning purpose. They invented Spark mlib, Spark graphics. So these are different frameworks. These are different components, not frameworks, different components in Spark. So now let's understand it. In Hadoop side, in Hadoop, we have two categories of job setting. In Hadoop world, in Hadoop world, we have we have we have two kinds of jobs. First one, Hadoop administrator. Hadoop administrator team. Hadoop administrator. Second one, Hadoop developer. Hadoop developer. In Hadoop world, we have two jobs. One is Hadoop administrators, and another one is Hadoop developers. So Hadoop administrators purposes, Hadoop administrator purposes, setuping Hadoop cluster. Setuping Hadoop cluster. Depends upon the client requirement, they will set up Hadoop cluster team. So you can, first one, they will set up this Hadoop cluster and they will monitor this Hadoop cluster. They will troubleshoot the problems in Hadoop cluster. They will run jobs in Hadoop cluster. They will monitor jobs, whether jobs are running or not. And what is the percentage? Any failure jobs. If there is any failure jobs, they will update to development team. So first they are going to set up Hadoop cluster. Hadoop cluster. So you can set up this Hadoop cluster on cloud. So we have AWS cloud, we have Azure, we have GCP, or any cloud, or on-premise, team. On-premise means own data center. Own data center. Let's say Durgasoft has own data center in Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai. So we are maintaining different systems in data center. In that missions, we can set up Hadoop cluster, or we can rent systems in any cloud like AWS, Azure, GCP. We have plenty of cloud frameworks. So first purpose of Hadoop administrators is configuring or setting Hadoop cluster and monitoring Hadoop cluster, troubleshooting Hadoop cluster, okay, monitoring jobs running in Hadoop cluster, running jobs, monitoring jobs, and updating jobs status to the developers, restarting jobs if any job is failed, restarting job. If still gets problem, they will communicate with development or support team. So lot of activities Hadoop administrators are going to do team. So Hadoop administrator Hadoop administrator, you need prerequisites. Linux or Unix. Linux or Unix. Okay. Add-on advantage. Any cloud. Maybe AWS, maybe Azure, maybe GCP, any cloud team, any cloud, plus DevOps tools. DevOps. If you have a Any cloud with DevOps along with the Hadoop administration, you will get high pay in the market. This is first role. Coming to Hadoop developer, actual our course. Hadoop development course thing. In Hadoop development, 1 minute. Sorry. So for Hadoop development, any programming language, prerequisites, any programming language. So maybe Java, maybe Python, maybe Scala, any programming knowledge, and SQL. If you have a SQL, you can easily write pig scripts, Hive scripts, etc. Spark SQL. And add on advantage team. Add on advantage Linux basics or Linux foundation. Linux basics or Linux foundation. Because we are going to connect with Hadoop missions. Most of Hadoop missions they will set up in Linux environment. So we are going to deploy our Hadoop applications in Linux machine or Unix machine. So you need minimum knowledge of Linux basics. It's add-on advantage. Learning these basics is you can easily learn. Okay. So first one in Hadoop, we do operations like data ingestion. So getting data from different sources into Hadoop. Getting data from different sources to Hadoop team. So for data ingestion purpose, we use, what are the tools we use team? We just discussed Scoop. Scoop is used to import data from RDBMS to Hadoop. Next one, Flume or HDFS cell commands. So for data ingestion purpose, we use these frameworks. Data ingestion. And we also use what? Tell me team. HBase also ingest the data into Hadoop, right? Yes or no? There are some other frameworks also. These are very, very important frameworks to store the data. On top of this one, for data modeling means converting file system data into databases on top schema and table format, relationships. So all these things we use Hive team. This is very important. So we use Hive framework. For data modeling, we use Hive framework. Next one, data processing. For data processing, we use MapReduce applications. We use MapReduce. We use Pig. We use Hive query language, SQL, etc. We use Hive, etc. So these are different data processing. So these are complete from Hadoop side team. Hadoop side. So Hadoop side, Hadoop and Hadoop frameworks. Okay. So industry using HDFS file system. So this is very important for storage. HDFS file system for storage team. Storage. And industry using Scoop, Flume, HBase for data ingestion. Next one, industry using Hive for data warehouse environment. Hive for data warehouse environment. Data warehouse environment. On top of HDFS file system thing. So Hadoop side, industry using these technologies: HDFS file system, Scoop, Flume, HBase, and Hive. Industry not using, currently industry not using Pig. So Pig is not using. Team remaining technologies still industry using. Okay. Next one, processing side. Industry using Spark. So using maybe Scala or maybe Python. So industry using Spark, using Scala or Python team. So processing purpose, industry using Spark, Scala or Spark Python. So Spark and Scala or PySpark. Industry using these two technologies team. It is using either Spark and Scala or PySpark for data processing. So with Hadoop, you may get less opportunities. With Spark and Scala or with PySpark, you get more opportunities. We have a jobs only on Hadoop development team, pure Hadoop development, using these technologies. Along with the Hadoop, industry expecting any one of this one, either Spark and Scala or PySpark, because once data is presented in Hadoop, processing side, sorry team, industry using either Spark and Scala or PySpark. So these are using any one of these technologies team to process data presented in HDFS file system presented in HBase, presented in Hive. When I say HBase or Hive, finally data is presented in HDFS file system only. Yes or no? On top of HDFS file system, we are exposing that HDFS file system data in a tabular format using Hive. So when you store data in HBase table, means internally HBase table pointing to HDFS file system. So we have Hadoop developer. Hadoop developer, they will expect these things too. Mainly they will expect HDFS file system knowledge with a practical HDFS cell commands. Next one, Scoop. Next one, Flume, HBase, and Hive. These are very, very importantly you have to know. If you want to enter into Hadoop developer, you need to know, you need to learn these technologies. Along with this one, you need to having good knowledge on any one programming language. It may be Java, it may be Python, not Java frameworks thing, only Java. And if you have a SQL knowledge, if you have a very good SQL knowledge, it's more add-on advantage for your Hadoop development team. I said we have frameworks like Hive. Hive has its own language called HQL. HQL queries are similar to SQL. If you know SQL, you can do miracles in Hive. Okay. Yep. Team, up to now, do you have any queries, team? Online team? Could you please write in chat box? Or do you want to ask any queries? So one of our friend asking, Spring such frameworks can't we integrate? Yes, Manish, we can integrate. What I am saying, for integration purpose, Spring framework developer will taken care. As a Hadoop developer, we least bother about how Spring will work. If you are a Spring developer, if you have a Hadoop development knowledge, it's well and good, friend. It's add-on advantage for your big data career. You will get lot of openings if you have a Hadoop development with Hadoop frameworks plus Java frameworks. You will get a lot of calls. Lot of calls. So again, one of our friend asking Cloudera Hadoop versus Apache Hadoop, which is widely used. Apache Hadoop is free. Cloudera Hadoop is a licensed version. Yep. Any other queries team before proceeding our continuation? Any other queries? So one of our friend asking, if we learn Apache distribution of Hadoop, can we work on Cloudera Hadoop? Yeah. So first let me give a clarity. Hadoop is implemented using Java language. Hadoop software is implemented using Java language team. Java language. Hadoop is a open source. Hadoop is a open source and free. Open source and free. Apache is a vendor of Hadoop. Apache is a vendor of Hadoop. Based on this open source, Based on this open source, plenty of vendors implemented enterprise version or licensed version. Based on this open source, many vendors implemented enterprise versions. Enterprise versions means licensed versions. Cloudera implemented CDH, Cloudera Distribution Hadoop, Cloudera Distribution Hadoop. Next one, Hortonworks implemented HDP. Hortonworks or Hadoop Distributed Platform. Hadoop Distributed Platform thing. Next one, Mapper implemented Mapper Hadoop. And Amazon implemented EMR, Elastic MapReduce. Amazon implemented Elastic MapReduce. Microsoft implemented HD Insights. Plenty of other vendors implemented Big Data Platform. All these people are implemented based on Apache Hadoop. You cannot see any difference. On top of Apache Hadoop, they given different user interfaces. Nice user interfaces, admin related, different thing. Is that clear, friend? Yep. Yeah, team. Any other query, team? Online team, do you have any other query? Okay. Now coming to Spark side. So we seen Hadoop side, we have a Hadoop administrator and Hadoop developer. Similar way, coming to Spark side, we have two job settings. First one, Spark developers. Second one, Spark machine learning. Or Spark data scientist. Again, we have Spark side, Spark developer, Spark machine learning developer. So Spark developer should know Spark core and Spark SQL, and other important one, Spark streaming. So these are important technologies. Coming to Spark machine learning or Spark data scientist, Spark developer course, Spark developers course plus Spark Emblem plus Spark graphics. You need to know these things to become a Spark machine learning developer or Spark data scientist. So if you get any opportunity, let's say big data developer or Hadoop developer, nowadays people are expecting for Hadoop developer or big data developer. So first one, you need to have prerequisites team, prerequisites. So first one, any programming language, any programming knowledge. So Java, preferably Java or Python or Scala. So any one thing. And next one, strong knowledge of SQL. I'm not saying PL SQL, only SQL. Strong knowledge of SQL and Linux Foundation. So these are prerequisites. And other, they are expecting technologies in big data side. So they are expecting Hadoop side HDFS file system, and they are expecting basic knowledge of minimum knowledge of MapReduce, because I said Hive, Scoop, Flume, all these are internally converted to MapReduce. Yes or no? So if you know MapReduce algorithms, you can easily understand frameworks on top of Hadoop. Next one, they are expecting Scoop. Definitely they will ask minimum 4 to 5 questions on Scoop team. Next one, Hive. They are expecting Hive team. These are very, very important. Along with this one, they are expecting HBase. HBase is optional. Some companies expect, some companies may not expect, but any framework for scheduling Hadoop jobs, maybe Uzi or Shell script or Autosys, etc. Any scheduling framework. So let's take above two only. Remaining are optional. So these are technologies they are expecting from Hadoop side. Spark side team. People are expecting Spark Core, Spark SQL, and Spark Streaming. Using Scala or Python. So you can implement a Spark framework either using Scala or framework. Coming to Spark using Scala. For Java developers, it is very, very, very easy, because Scala syntaxes are similar to Scala syntaxes are similar to Java. You can write Java program, you can say .Scala. You can write complete Java program, you can say .Scala, it will work. Scala compiler can understand Java code, but Java compiler cannot understand Scala code. Finally, Scala program converted to bytecode. So Scala program or Java program going to run by JVM only. Even Hadoop programs also running by JVM only. So Java virtual machine. So learning Spark and Scala is very, very easy for Java developers, but PySpark using complete Python team. Syntax is little different. Syntax is little differ from Java, but any Java developer can easily learn Python. Any Python programmer can easily learn Java. Any Scala programmer can learn easily Java, easily Python, because all these are object-oriented programming languages. And additionally, Python may support additional features. Only syntax may be different. Okay, so we have any one thing. So these two. So if you want to become a Hadoop developer, first you need to concentrate Hadoop with these technologies. You need to concentrate on Hadoop with these technologies. Once you are strong on these technologies, go for this one. And one more important thing, there is no dependency between Hadoop and Spark. Yep, there is no dependency between Hadoop and Spark. I'll give one example. Team, to implement JDBC programs, is it mandatory we need to know RDBMS? Online team? Do we need to know? Not mandatory. No. Without knowing RDBMS, we can write JDBC programs. We need to know JDBC concepts. That's it. We need only connection details. How to connect that RDBMS. Schema, database name or schema name, username, password, URL. That's it. You can write a JDBC program without knowing any RDBMS. Yes or no? Similar way, Spark is going to read HDFS file system data. We need to know how to load HDFS file into Spark. We need to know how to connect Hive. We need to know how to connect HBase. That's it, team. Once the data is comes to Spark environment, then you can write Spark application. So you can do both Hadoop development and Spark development parallelly. Hadoop development is, you can start directly Hadoop developer team. You can start your career directly Hadoop development. Assume you are a new guy entered into software world. Instead of learning any other technology, you can start directly Hadoop, or you already experienced. You are working with Java, or you are working with Scala, or you are working with Python. With your technology, Hadoop gives lot of advantages. You will get more calls and pay also very good thing. At this point of time, even this lockdown situations, corona effect, you will see lot of calls for big data development. You cannot see these many jobs for any other technologies. We have a lot of openings team. Because data analysis is mandatory. Nowadays, data analysis is mandatory. And one more important thing, we cannot see any screens. People who want to see beautiful screens, they can, most of the people, UI developers can see. Sometimes middle layer people can see. Middle layer people can see, but here complete big data development, we completely working on data processing, data analytics team. How middle layer people, how front end people call, we will discuss with real time scenarios. still industry using Hadoop 2.x team. Still industry not started using Hadoop 3.x. Hadoop has 3 versions: Hadoop 1.x, Hadoop 2.x, Hadoop 3.x. Architecture wise, Hadoop 3 has some limitation. Hadoop 3 completely changed architecture wise. Hadoop 3 architecture is completely changed. So still industry using Hadoop 2.x. In Hadoop 2.x, I am going to explain Hadoop 2.9.x. That is the latest version in Hadoop 2.x. Hadoop 3.0 is introduced. Hadoop 3.x versions are still introducing, but only few companies or clients using Hadoop 3, not all the companies. Architecture wise, there is a difference in Hadoop 3. I will give clear clarity once we started discussing. What is the difference between 1.x, 2.x and 3.x? Why still industry using Hadoop 2.x? Why not Hadoop 3.x? Because many projects are running in 2.x. So to change from 2.x to 3.x, there is an architecture change. That's why they are not moving 2.x to 3.x. Even new clients also not started using Hadoop 3.x. Only few clients started using Hadoop 3.x. Yeah, team. Any other questions, team? Online team? So here for Hadoop development team, for Hadoop development, let me for data loading, here HDFS we use HDFS cell or beeline tool, HDFS cell. Next one, for HDFS commands we use HDFS cell. For the Flume and Scoop we use. For Flume, Scoop we use Linux cell. For MapReduce applications, we use Eclipse team, Eclipse IDE for MapReduce applications. For MapReduce, for Hive, for Hive, we use Hive cell or beeline tool. Okay. For HBase we use HBase cell. For HBase we use HBase cell. Coming to Spark. Spark and Scala. We use Eclipse or IntelliJ or any Java IDE. Both Scala and Scala or Java we use IntelliJ or Eclipse or any Java IDE for PySpark team. For PySpark, we use IDEs like PyCharm, or we use IDE like Spider, we use VS Code, etc. So for developing PySpark, we use these IDs, or we use Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook. So in this way, we develop applications. Once we develop applications, administrators creates one client mission team. Let's say in this entire group of missions, they will give one mission as a client mission. Hadoop administrators gives client mission. Here they will create users for developers. They create users for testers, etc. So assume you are a developer. Let's say you are developing all these technologies. Once we develop, we will connect this client mission. We will deploy our programs into this client mission. Maybe they give one mission or multiple missions team. They may give one mission or multiple missions as a client missions. So once we develop, we deploy our applications into client mission. So these are left side and right side are developer mission. Once we develop our applications, Hadoop applications or Spark applications, we will deploy that application into Hadoop client mission. Then we will run. Once the development is completed, who will take care to run that applications? Hadoop administrator. Hadoop administrator is available 24/7. Yes or no? If there is any errors, there is a development support team. They will escalate that problem to support team. So in this way we develop. Yep. So finally, we are working for Hadoop or Java or .NET or Angular or any technology. We work for final one is pay. Yes or no? Salary. So compared to programming languages, you can expect double or triple T. You can expect triple or fourable also. Compared to languages, big data is the technology which pays high paying. Approximate for 6 years people approximate we can expect to 10 LPA. Approximate, I'm saying. It's not exact figure, approximate or assumption. But you will get more than that. It's the highest paid jobs available for big data team. And one more important point, prerequisite knowledge. If you have other technologies, it's well and good. If you do not have also, no problem, because here we are going to start from scratch. We'll discuss in depth. And one more important point, team, Hadoop is not new technology, team. Hadoop initially released a slogan says Hadoop is not a new technology. It resolved existed problems in new way. If you have any existed technology, it's add-on advantage. Earlier, when this Hadoop development or Hadoop jobs started in, I think, 2014 ending and 2015, that time people are expecting minimum 3 years or 4 years of IT experience with the 6 months of Hadoop experience. Minimum. Because if you know database knowledge, if you know programming knowledge, you can provide better solutions in Hadoop and big data world. Okay. So any queries, team? Do you want to ask me anything related to big data, Hadoop or Spark or this workshop? Hello, online team? Yep, you can contact admin people, Manish.
Sir, Baswal here.
Yep.
Timing is evening 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. right?
You can contact
Daily,
admin
daily.
people. Yep.
Okay.
You can contact admin.
Timing.
Timing related, you can contact with admin.
But sir, to do this course require Java or Python?
Anyone. That's what, any programming. If you know Java, you can choose Java side. Complete Spark Scala you can learn instead of PySpark.
Sir, advanced Java knowledge required to do this course?
Not required, not required. Core Java knowledge is enough.
A new batch will when start?
Yep, admin people will contact you.
Okay, sir. And what is the benefits of Hadoop? It is the only for using database?
Data analytics purpose. Storing huge volumes of data, on top of that to do data analytics.
And use of this Hadoop, any database language required like MySQL, Oracle and MongoDB?
Anything. If you know only SQL, that's enough. SQL is common for all these RDBMS, right?
And sir, I have no any knowledge of SQL. I can do this course. It is possible?
Yes, yes, because we are going to start Hive queries from beginning, right? There you can learn SQL concepts also.
Okay, and after complete this course, we can do SQL. It is a good combination of SQL and Hadoop.
Yep. If you have a strong knowledge of SQL, you can provide a better solution. That's what Hadoop people says. If you know, it's not a new technology. It resolved problems in a new way. Existed problems in a new way. See, earlier, parallel processing applications, we have to write multi-threaded applications. But we don't know our multi-threaded application provides exact solution. But here, no need to write a single line of multi-threading. Once we submit our, yeah.
Which is the good for this course? Which is the good Core Java and Python? Both. Which is the better for this course? Because I have a knowledge of only Java, if not I have Python for this reason.
Right now, both having, let's say you are a Java guy. You are a Java guy. So you are saying only you have a core Java knowledge, right? Then you can do Hadoop development, and Spark and Scala. Along with this one, if you have a Spring, only Spring plus Java frameworks, you will get lot of call spread. you will get lot of calls, but interview is heavy. Okay, remember that point. Interview is heavy because they will concentrate on Hadoop frameworks as well as Java frameworks, but you will get better pay, lot of calls. Other approach, Python core and advanced. No need to know any Python frameworks, plus Hadoop development and PySpark. You will get a lot of calls. We have a equal priorities team. Equal priorities. Right now, equal priorities. Don't know, future, you may get more for this one.
Sir, this data analysis is useful for a database and data science. This is
Come
useful.
Come again.
This data analytics, it is useful for data science and digital marketing. This is useful.
Yep, data science is a big, in that big data is one part.
If we are doing the data science, this Hadoop will cover in this in that course.
No, they won't cover.
Okay.
Because data science is a collection of technologies, friends. Big data, databases, streaming frameworks, machine learning, artificial, NLP, computer vision. Lot of technologies combination is data scientist.
To do data science, Hadoop knowledge required. Knowledge about.
Yep, if you have a first level, say, if you have a data analytic knowledge, next machine learning, artificial intelligence, NLP, computer vision.
Okay,
Then finally you can become a very good data scientist.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any other queries, Tim? Yep. Thank you, Tim. That's it for today. For any other information. Yep.
Only for one batch.
Batch details, admin team contact you. You can visit in this website. For batch details,
Okay.
you can visit in this website. Admin people, they will contact you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm stopping the session, team. If you have any queries, ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to stop the session.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, team.